When it comes to retirement planning, do you just need one advisor or a bunch of advisors? Well, by the end of this video, you will gain clarity for your personal retirement plan and have action items to secure your retirement.
To learn more about securing your retirement and all the different elements you need to know, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to be notified when we post a video every Monday. We have helped hundreds of our clients gain clarity and get on the path to a comfortable and happy retirement. Now it's your turn. Let's dive in.
Welcome to our Retirement in Action. So think about this for a second. You are planning for or living into retirement or moving into retirement, and you start looking at it and you start going, oh my goodness, there's all kinds of different moving parts. And what I thought was this thing, I'm just going to save money and go into retirement and everything's going to work out and be good. And then you start looking at it and you're going, oh my goodness, I got all these different things that are happening. And so then you start doing even more and more research as you're trying to get to that actual day that you've been working decades for. And you find different types of advisors and you wonder, how do I coordinate all this? And so today we're really tackling who should I have on my retirement planning team? What are the types of advisors I have and how can they be set up? And so we believe that it should be a team environment. We're going to talk about our belief system, but we know that everybody's not going to want it the way we've done it. But today we're just going to talk about who should be on it, whether or not you have them as a team working together, that's up to you. But who are the key people that should be there in your life helping you get ready for that nice day of retirement? So we're going to dive right in and go through the different types of setups that are out there and then talk about this idea of a team approach. So Merce, can you get us started?
Yeah. So, like Raiden said, at the beginning of your career and saving money, all you're thinking about is, well, let me just save, let me get the money invested, and then hopefully I'll have enough to retire. And so usually that ends up starting with maybe your first 401k at your job, and you're just dumping money into a plan. Maybe there's an advisor within your company that says, hey, here's how you should do your asset allocation. And then you start to build up some wealth. And then you say, well, I need to start saving outside of this bucket now. Where do I go to save outside of my 401k? And maybe you set up another IRA or a Roth or a brokerage account at, say, like a Fidelity or a TD Ameritrade or maybe a Morgan Stanley, a Merrill Lynch. And eventually you start having advisors reach out to you and say, hey, we can manage this money for you, ultimately better than you can. That's the whole concept. And so you sign up with that person and they start managing the money for you. And so you've got your 401k and you've got some other assets that are building in different ways. But that's, at the end of the day, that's really all they are there for in certain setups. Now, Raiden and I, and we'll talk about this a little bit later in the podcast, we are set up as more of a holistic financial advisor. So we're not just looking at the investments, but a lot of advisors out there are just there to help you invest the money and hopefully grow the money. And a lot of times that just comes down to an asset allocation type of model where they take the bucket of money that you have, they do a risk assessment with you, and off of that risk assessment, they say, well, based off of your risk tolerance, maybe you should be in a 60-40 portfolio or a 80-20 portfolio because you're a little bit younger, you could be a little bit more aggressive. And then they're just going to stay the course. They're going to do the investments for you, maybe do a quarterly rebalance, an annual rebalance, maybe have an annual check-in with you just to talk about how the investments have done, but not really to check in on your life and how the overall end goal is going, which I hope for a lot of us, the end goal is to get to retirement and then also to enjoy and have fun in retirement. And so our belief is that in order to enjoy and have fun in retirement, there's a lot of other things that have to happen other than the money management. Yes, the money management is important. We all know that it takes money to retire. Social Security is not enough. So you have to have these other buckets built up. And so we look at it from a holistic perspective. And some of the things that are not considered when you're just working with that money manager is, well, I built up this money, but how am I actually at the end of the day, when I decide to retire, going to pay myself? I've been earning and getting a paycheck from someone else. How am I going to start paying myself when I do decide to pull that trigger and retire at 65 or 67? Oh, by the way, can I retire at 65 or 67? I have this dream of retiring at 60. Is that possible? all these questions are answered with a proper retirement plan, which once again, the money manager is not going to do. They're just kind of there to help you build and grow the money. Huge other concept that is overlooked sometimes in this in a certain way of working with an advisor is the tax ramifications. A lot of times, and we see it all the time, the majority of the money that you save for retirement is built up in these pre-tax buckets, 401ks and IRAs. And sometimes we forget that we haven't paid taxes on that money yet. So what's the strategy there? Do we need to start thinking about Roth conversions? How is this money going to be left behind? Another huge one is insurance. Do I need life insurance? Do I have enough life insurance? What type of life insurance should I be looking at? What about an annuity? You know, maybe you need a safety bucket in your overall retirement plan, or maybe you need something that's going to generate you your own private pension because your company, most companies are not going to provide that for you anymore. And you need something that's guaranteed to pay you out for the rest of your life. A huge one that comes up when you're 65 is Medicare. And there's a lot of questions around Medicare and a lot of misunderstandings around it too. So you need someone in your corner to help you understand the different things that come with Medicare. And also there's some tax issues you have to play with as well in a couple years before you sign up for Medicare. And so that's just a kind of a high level as to whether you're working with a money manager or whether you're working with a holistic approach type of financial advisor like we are. There are pros and cons to everything, like we always say, and you kind of have to decide for yourself, what is it that you want? So Braden, I'll let you take it from there as to, you know, what we believe matters the most when it comes to retirement.
Yeah. So when Merce just goes through all those different things, that is not meant, by the way, if you're listening to this, to raise your blood pressure or to give you stress and say, oh my goodness, there is a ton. And I don't know if I'm ready or not. It's simply to say there's a lot of things to look at. So what we want to do is talk to you about the different types of advisors that we believe you should have involved in your life. And then we'll just, you know, again, we're not trying to say that you have to do it one way or not, but we will share with you what our belief system is. I've been doing this for over 20 years, Merce over 10 years. And so this is what we have found, with the ultimate goal of somebody having a secure retirement, but with peace of mind. So when we start thinking about all these different advisors, so let's go back to the financial side. All right. Now the financial side, yes, would be investment strategy, helping you have an investment plan that you're comfortable with, that your risk tolerance can sustain. I mean, that is a part of it, but we believe that the foundation of the financial side is having a comprehensive retirement financial plan. Now I use that word, retirement financial plan, not a financial plan, but one with a retirement focus to it. And the reason why is because that is kind of your document or your plan that's going to help you be able to go to bed and go to sleep, wake up and know I've got it thought through. So Merce and I begin all of everything with that retirement financial plan. It's going to look at a lot of different things. It's going to look at your income. It's going to look at how to have an investment strategy that can help you be able to have money that lasts throughout your lifetime. But it's going to say, okay, where do we take the income from? Well, what ifs? What if one spouse were to predecease another? What if we have a health problem? And we can run all of those what ifs in there, and you're able to get a nice picture of this. Now, that is not a one and done. We tell people it's a living document, but we take that. We now are able to use that, and every single year update that document. When we have a client, every single year we're updating it. Now, whether you use us or you use somebody, we believe a retirement financial plan is important. So whoever you're working with, make sure you've got that and you understand it and that it's simple enough that you can get it. Now, there's taxes. We believe you should have a tax advisor. The way we've got it set up is that in our firm, we actually pay for a CPA that gives tax strategy. We pay for that to get tax strategy to all of our clients. We use some in-house software as well to help us to make decisions like a Roth conversion or not, or I'm going to sell a stock that's got capital gain or not. Also, there's estate planning. That's huge, by the way, in the overall approach. Estate planning is huge because you've got to make sure you've got certain documents in place. And it's extremely important if you were to become incapacitated or pass away without those documents can just make life very difficult for the surviving spouse or children. So we've partnered again with estate planning attorneys to make sure that that's all done and it's all talked about together. Then you've got things like Mer said, Medicare, long-term care, life insurance. We also believe in having a Social Security specialist. We actually use software ourselves to help to determine whether or not when a person should take Social Security, help them to think that through. But we also have, in all essence, a way to help people apply for and walk themselves through exactly what to do in Social Security. We found that that's a need. People have anxiety. They get worried about that. So what we wanted to do today is to say, okay, there's a lot of moving elements. Don't go down the path of thinking, I've got a person who does this and I'm all set. Because you could have plenty of money, but if we don't have the other stuff figured out, we could also have a plan that does not give us that peace of mind, that security that we want. So we hope this is giving you a little bit of peace of mind in that. If you've got any questions, maybe you want to talk to Merce and I, or maybe you got to bounce off an idea. You don't really want another advisor, that's okay, but I just want to get a second opinion, or I want to get a question answered. Go to our website, pomwealth.net, and at the top you'll see a button that says 15-minute complimentary phone conversation. You can click on that. You can get our whole schedule, and you can have a 15-minute conversation with us, no obligation. It's complimentary. And that's to anybody. You just say, I got a quick question. You just said something in the show that triggered a thought, and I need to understand it. We're glad to do that. We look forward to doing that. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
We hope this video has given you some confidence and clarity as you plan for a worry-free life in retirement. But what else do you need? We have created a complimentary video course called 3 Keys to Secure Your Retirement. This video walks you through step by step what you need to do to get ready for retirement. You can also check out our podcast called Secure Your Retirement. You can subscribe below.
For more retirement tips, watch this video. Create your retirement income plan. Also, click here to subscribe to our podcast, Secure Your Retirement. If you like this video, hit the like button and be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends.